Welcome back to David Dalker. Week Music number 46. 5 albums. Here they are. Album number 1 of the week, 10 by Pearl Jam. Came out in 1991. Did I say 10 by Pearl Jam? Did I say album number 1? Whatever. Came out in 1991. First project I listened to from Pearl Jam. Familiar with their work? Obviously know Eddie Vedder. Obviously know Pearl Jam. Obviously listened to all their songs. This one is the album that features Even Flow, which I think is probably their most popular song. Right. I was watching a clip from Letterman where he was waxing poetic about The End of Black by Pearl Jam, and I thought that clip was insane. Like Vedder was just going all into it. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna listen to the album that's from, and I did, and this album was awesome. A lot of the instrumentals reminded me a lot of some of like the Weather Report horn stuff that they would do, just like that very like spacious, like I thought that was really cool. And then getting into some really great guitar, just really great like headphone rock. I really dug it. Eddie Vedder has such a unique voice. He's just such a influential and impactful and iconic lead singer. This album was really good. I'm gonna go 87 hot dogs out of 100 for 10 by Pearl Jam. Is that what I said? I don't know. Right? Yeah. 10 by Pearl Jam, 86. On to the next album. Album number 2 of the week, Fevers and Mirrors by Bright Eyes, came out in the year 2000. Haven't listened to anything by Bright Eyes, but I've heard of them. Riley from Hive Mind's a fan of them. YouTube channel I like. My friend Michael was talking about them a few days ago, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to tap in. And my line of reasoning for choosing an album is just kind of errant. Sometimes I'll just like choose their debut album, and sometimes I'll choose, most of what it is I'll go to like their highest, like the top 5 songs on the Spotify, and then just go to the album that has those songs. But this one I kind of just chose one with my favorite cover, and it was this one. Kind of reminded me of the Eyes Wide Shut poster. This album was really good. The only thing I knew about them is that they're just a very emotionally poignant and like melancholic group, and I got that heavily from this. Kind of shoegazy, very early 2000s. I liked it a lot, talking about very real situations. And I like an album that has like a very, not like out of place, but like that interview on the second to last track I thought was important to the album. Like it's basically like just an interview about the album on the album, just allowing the lead singer to kind of in a satirical sense, but also just, you know, kind of meta talk about the album. I thought that was really neat. But yeah, I mean, this album just touched on some very real things. There's just a lot of honesty in the lyrics, and the instrumental definitely adds to it. I thought it was really solid. I'm going to go 88 hot dogs out of 100 for Fevers and Mirrors by Bright Eyes. On to the next album. Album number 3 of the week, Tidal by Fiona Apple, came out in 1996. This is the second album I listened to for Fiona Apple this year. First one was Win the Pawn, blah, 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 whatever the rest of that title is. I really liked it. It felt very slam poetry. It felt very, like, intimate club setting. This one, a lot, like, she's a wonderful lyricist and such a fantastic poet, so, like, that lyricism is very present in this project. But it feels a lot less intimate and a lot more, not grandiose, but the production it feels a little bit more put together. And it's not to say that Win the Pawn's production is like flimsy or anything. It's just that the different production styles just kind of lend themselves differently to each project. I think both work really well, but I think I preferred this one because it felt a lot more of its time, a lot more, like I felt there's a lot more dream pop elements in this, which is definitely, you know, kind of the way of things in the 90s with female lyricists, I feel. But yeah, I thought this project was great. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna go 84 hot dogs out of 100 for Tidal by Fiona Apple. On to the next album. Album number 4 of the week, Figure 8 by Elliott Smith, came out in the year 2000. First I listened to from Elliott Smith, I think like album or song, like really anything from him. I really haven't tapped in, but you know, I've been made aware of him. I know his impact on like that, like, you know, late 90s, early 2000s indie sound. This album was awesome. It gave me a lot of very like Beatles vibes. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like like just kind of with his vocals and like the lyricism and the instrumentals, it just kind of felt like a kind of a modern take on the Beatles. I don't know. That's just kind of what I felt. But yeah, I mean, this album was great. Yeah, I mean, just really strong stuff. I'm gonna go 82 hot dogs out of 100 for Figure Eight by Elliott Smith. On to the next album. Album number 5 of the week, and I believe album number 200 on the year, which is kind of crazy. GNX by Mr. Kendrick Lamar came out yesterday. Well, I listened to it yesterday. I'm reviewing it today. I listened to whatever. Came out yesterday, Friday, November 22nd. His first album since Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. A surprise drop, which is super cool. After the massive, almost like inhumane, insane success of Not Like Us, Meet the Grams, Euphoria, all those diss tracks and the whole drama between him and Drake, he released a full-scale project, 12 songs, 44 minutes, and it was awesome. I was such a huge fan. I was like bobbing my head, snapping my fingers, tapping my feet the whole time. I thought all the beats were wonderful. Jack Antonoff had like hands in producing a ton of them. SZA was featured, and a bunch of artists that I hadn't heard of were featured as well, and I kind of want to tap into some of their work because all the features were great, all the songs were great. I was into the whole thing. I thought it was such a wonderful project. Kendrick is probably the best. He's not my favorite working actor right now. He's probably the best just based on discography, rapping ability, just everything, like top to bottom. He's just such a wonderful dude, wonderful artist. This is the year of Kendrick, it feels like, with, the whole beef between him and Drake and him coming out, undeniably on top. Him headline, Super Bowl commercial, that whole thing. Super cool, really great album. I was a really big fan of it. Luther with SZA was 100% my favorite song. I was listening to that on repeat yesterday. Really, really good. I'm going to go 88 hot dogs out of 100 for GNX by Mr. Kendrick Lamar. On to the guy. That's all the albums. Hope you guys enjoyed. It's crazy that I've already listened to 200 albums on this channel. It's a lot. It's a lot of music. A lot of songs. Maybe I'll make a playlist with all of them. I don't know. But that's all I got. For this video, like and subscribe. Peace out.